Hey guys, it's Caliglow. Today I'm going to be going into a quick little blurb that I'd like to do on how map pressure can really affect games. Okay, so let's start with one of the most infamous, Haven. Haven is a very interesting map, right? Triple site, typically not something you see in attack FPS. So, what that means is that map pressure becomes a lot harder on defense and a lot easier on attack, typically, because you need people playing in multiple sites in order to cover everything. You have to give something up, right? Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entrances, and you kind of need to watch all of them. Sometimes, if you have a sentinel on C or on A, you can give up like one of the entrances and watch it passively. So you can take a brim and put him over on like C site, or you can put him over on B site for like quick rotates, where he can just like float and stack, right? So if that doesn't always happen, right? So if you want to counter this, if I'm playing an attacking team, so if I have these 5 people, right, and I'm going to attack, it makes my job a hell of a lot easier 5-stack pushing something, but at the same time, it's more advantageous for your team to take more space because then they have to fight to regain that space. So, if I was going to go attack over here, maybe I have Jet playing like this, and we do 3 long, and then we have 1 pushing up in the garage. Very simple C split push, right? We got our duelists, 1 to each one, because you need someone to entry, right? They push into garage. My Jet, KO, and Omen push up. Omen's probably going to be smoking, right here, and then he's also probably going to be smoking like right here, right? That way, we're not smoking off our own teammates, because if they come in and they push, and they take the 2v1, or Brim decides not to fight it and dips out, if the smoke is over here, now your team's gonna come over and have to entry out again, wasting more utility, or dying to Cypher playing right here if you haven't pushed up fast enough, right? So, typically, we want to keep the smoke advantageous for our team, so we smoke like right there, and then from here, something I probably do is Reyna or Chamber pushes up onto site, and we leave 1 behind, right? Good place to play is behind this box, or playing outside and holding this window. And so from there, he can hold garage and gain control, or he can play passively and flank when you have all of your enemy team rotate over and are going to retake, right? So then we get rid of Cypher. We probably killed him. We push out on the site. Let's say someone died. It's always the second person on the site, so it's probably your initiator. So initiator dies. We're in a 4v4. Let's just say for the sake of argument, because Cypher sometimes will pick up one, right? So we're in a 4v4 here, right? This space that this player creates effectively can actually win you a round. Because if he's playing an active angle right here, he can still peek this angle. So if a Brim or a Jet or something goes to walk up, he can either comet, that way somebody can flash and peek him when it's guaranteed kill, or he can just shoot him while he's doing that. And then the rest of your team, so you can play an Omen like right here, he's not peeking into this angle, he's just hiding. And then you can play a Jet back sight, and you can play your Reyna like right here, right? Or up here, doesn't really matter. That way, if somebody pushes out onto site, right? Like I have a Jet that dashes in, she can hold that, and they can effectively get a trade on a 2v1. Even if they push out 2, at least we have a 2v2 that are split angles, right? We don't really want to stack them up, because if you stack them up, then it's much easier, because then both of your teammates, they don't have to flick over to you, right? They don't have to do some crazy tense move in order to kill you. So we're probably going to split it, and then people are going to try and split push onto here. We're going to get garage control, but we have this chamber lurking, and this is how we create pressure, right? This is map control 101. They start pushing in. If chamber decides to wait, then as soon as they push in, he walks behind, he gets 2 free kills, and Reyna might die, might not, but either way, we go up in the number advantage, right? And Omen is responsible for helping right here. So then we get a crossfire that's a 180 crossfire. 180 crossfires are insane. People need to play these more often, because this is insane. You have to be literally radiant in order to somehow kill both on this peak, right? Because I got 2 people in this little channel. He's got to shoot him. One person has to either commit and turn around, or try and dedicate this and then try and turn around. But either way, Chamber's probably picking up 2 here. And so now we get the 2 kills. They're off the map. Let's just say Omen dies and Reyna dies trying to kill this. These 2 are still alive, right? We're now playing in a 2v1, even in the worst, even in a pretty bad scenario. So now Chamber can push up here, or he can still play in garage and just wait for Spike tap. Because if Spike gets planted out in the open, your jet has to die in order for this jet to defuse. So this jet either has to lurk around here, try and pick up this kill. If Chamber's playing passively, she no longer has that as an option. And so then she has to peek right here. And if she peeks right there, as soon as she takes that fight, Chamber has that as an easy kill. And even if she comes back here, right? She starts over here and comes over here and kills her, right? Our jet dies. Fuck, right? She goes over to defuse. Chamber can walk up right here and just jiggle peek this and kill. But this has taken so much longer than the typical plant because they had to fight for this area or they got flanked and killed this area. The loss of this really helps play your team in an advantageous angle, right? Because we're creating new angles. We have a 180 crosshold. We've got a 90-degree crosshold right here. And it's just making it devastating for the enemy team to push up here. And by then, you probably have already won the round just based on time alone. Not even kills. A B push. One of the worst things that I ever see on B, right? B is a very weird site to hold because it is not designed that well for it to be held, right? Because the site is super small and has a lot of 180 crosses, right? Which makes it a very, very, very scary site to hold. A really good way of doing this is if we split it up, right? Again, we're doing another split. Split pushes gain a lot of traction and a lot of different ways of executing, creating a lot of space for your team and holding shit down, right? So Chamber is probably going to be hitting his flank trip over somewhere over here, right? If I want to take B, we have first the initial peaks. This is probably going to be done with a leer. We're going to jump out, right? Push up. Omen's going to hit his smokes. This is the typical site execution that you're going to see on B. We have Jet pushing up, Chamber pushing up. Brim's going to probably smoke the entrance. That way people can't push in. We've got KO and Reyna and Omen. We're going B, right? They're all rotating over. We've got them all stacked up, right? Because they know we're coming B. Brim may or may not keep holding this. But we have to know, right? So we double stack up. And as the site gets executed and we flash on the site, like Omen, like paranoia's right side or left side or something like that. He can even paranoia onto this side right here because he can still get part of window and into C-Link. And have our Jet and Chamber peek and clear garage. And KO, perhaps, if he doesn't stay on site, some people will dip out, some people stay. For this, I'm going to say he doesn't stay, right? And they dip out, we get onto site, right? It's now 5v4. We've got 2 in C-Link, 2 in A-Link. We get the bomb plant down. Chamber has a radius on his trip, so Chamber's probably going to come back out and make sure no one's flanking from C long, right? He's going to take care of any flanks. Jet's going to come up into window, and now if we have like KO go back here, we got Omen playing back, we got Reyna playing on site, right? Something like this. We have garage control. Chamber is completely safe in the way he's playing. The only angle he can get peeked at is from this angle, right? The C long angle. So as long as he holds it, nothing's gonna affect him. And now he can effectively play in this area very safely. We've got KO, who's probably gonna try and flash on the site. He's gonna pop flash in, Cypher's gonna follow him. These two are going to be coming over on the side, like Jet smoking and coming in. KO doesn't have to worry about C-Link because Jet is going to peek here if they flash on. And even if they don't flash on or your Jet peeks earlier, if she jiggle peeks it, literally a single jiggle peek can win you this round. If Jet jiggle peeks this at any point while people are playing in C-Link, right? If she jiggle peeks that, now they know someone's playing in garage, and they're too scared to push out of this C-Link because they're like, Jet's just gonna peek me if I push out. Which, they're either gonna dedicate one person for that, and now they only have one going on to site, and you've got an Omen mid, Reyna on site, and this becomes a 3v3. And as soon as they figure out where everybody is and no one's flanking, now you have a 4v3. Because now we have to match this or dedicate it and hope that she doesn't know when he's peeking. But the moment, like, she can just keep jiggle peeking. She probably can catch two people's attention, and this becomes a much harder fight. And then we can take like a 3v, basically a 4v2, because she's occupying two people just by being there. She just exists. She doesn't even have to get a kill. She just has to live as long as possible and be annoying as frick, dude. Literally just constantly jump peeking, taking a couple pop shots at them, backing up, and then they're either going to have to push her, which is going to take more time, or they're going to have to just ignore her and keep going on the site, which then gives you another 180 angle. So that is all that pressure, all the map pressure, right? And if they don't do that, then now they push into here, and we can have 4 people watching one angle because they are too preoccupied with one Jet playing garage, or one Chamber, or one Omen. One person playing garage can occupy the entirety of C-Link purely by existing, jump peeking, taking a couple pop shots, just not dying. This has effectively won you the round. They have to waste so much time and utility trying to clear something that's not even sight, but is important to sight. So like her holding back here, this isn't really going to do nearly as much impact because if they push through garage, Jet can't follow up on that. But there's nowhere for them to go if Jet's playing in garage. So map control can effectively win you rounds because you have to waste time, utility, and play bad numbers in order for them to successfully retake map control and push on, get those kills, and retake the site. This is the concept of map control. Map control happens in like the highest pro play, and it happens all the time. And typically, there's like always that joke, right? Where you're like, oh my god, what are you playing for VCTs? Because when you join, and everybody hates when this happens. I know for a fact people do. When you join a game and you watch the enemy team run a default, right? When you're sitting here, you've got one on every side or whatever, right? And you've got something like this. This setup pisses people off. It's slow. It takes forever. You don't know what site they're going to, so you can't just no brain rotate. You have to try and figure out where they're coming from. You have to play for map control. This is map control. Map control can win games. It's annoying as hell to play, and it takes a lot of team coordination. But on the simpler forms, you can take map control by just doing split pushes that are not carefully, but like at least decently organized, right? If you understand your role in map control and understand that the purpose is for you to deny access to places, then you can effectively help yourself win games. That's probably going to be it for when I talk about map control. I can do other maps in the future if you guys like this. Maybe get a little bit more complex. I kind of explained things like super top level and tried not to be like doing like exactly what you need to do, but just giving like overall examples of like maybe how this could look in a round. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.